what's up, man? Welcome back to the studio.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Beautiful space.
Thank you. This is Samuel Turay, more active lifestyle CEO, trainer extraordinaire, 20 plus years experience, my trainer, but we just really getting started. So don't look at me. I've been the worst client. I've been on and off. And
every man is a work in progress. My guy. Every man is under construction.
I've restarted. I'm on day one, maybe my 45th day one.
We're going to change that, man. We're going to get you consistent. We're going to change that.
But for real, Sam has a boutique gym. Sam has trained, and he'll tell you more about it. But from what I know, trained a lot of folks, and he does one-on-one training. And one thing that I love about Sam's program is that it is legitimately one-on-one. Like, whatever issues you may have, like when he starts, he always asks, what injuries do you have? Like, yo, my left pinky toe is hurting. And he knows exactly what to do to navigate around whatever injuries you may have. And that's something that's very important because people injure themselves all the time.
True.
And I injured myself once in the gym, so I don't want to ever do that again because it was almost 4 weeks of recovery. Right. So if you're in the Nova, DC area, hit my boy up.
Northern Virginia, the DMV. Yeah. As known in the area, the DMV.
Now, he's not free and he's not cheap. But he's the best.
With money. Like
he's the best.
Your best is it's never free, but you get what you pay for.
You don't develop guns like that without knowing what you're doing.
Years of doing it.
Yeah.
There's the old saying about having 10,000 hours of studying something, you become a master at it. That's why I think over time, like as I'm doing what I do right now, people I think one of my clients asked me this, like, how do you prep for clients? I said, I've been doing it for so long. Yeah. All I need is a few minutes with a client. I have a few conversations with you, I already know. My assessment tells me everything I need to know about you. Yeah. Like, I know how to handle you. I know how to treat you. I know what kind of conversation. I know what kind of client you're going to be. Yeah.
And what's funny about that, bro, what's your oldest client?
Joe about like 87.
Almost 90 years old. And your youngest client, I'm sure, is in their 20s or 30s.
So it's like a good range of people. I've trained kids as young as, like, how old was the young one? 8.
Wow.
Yeah, he was overweight. His mom was trying to get him in shape, so he's trying to play sports. So I've done 8 to like 87.
So curious, what would you tell people? Because people look at me funny, like, why are you paying for a trainer? Why would somebody pay for a trainer versus working out by themselves?
The same way is literally paying a professional to do what they do. The same way you pay for a tax accountant. The same way you pay a hairstylist. The same way you would pay everybody that's a professional to do their job. It allows you to get the best. It's not saying you can't do it. Most of the stuff we pay people, we can do. Yeah. If you study enough, you can be an accountant. Right. But your time is more valuable. It allows you to basically get the best and not spend a bunch of hours studying this. Right. No man, like I said, jack of all trade, you're not. Like you're master of none. Right. So if you want to be a master and trainer in this, I'm a master in this.
Yeah. So tell me, what's some of the worst outcomes you've seen from people not knowing what they're doing in the gym?
It's a lot of times injuries and also going into the space thinking they know something and then end up maybe doing exactly opposite and then injuring themselves for a longer period of time. And then they always, in that moment, they get to a space where they regret or they despise the gym. Yeah. Which is not what we want. We don't want you to look at the gym as something like it's bad for you. Every time I go there, I get injured. I injure myself. It's a space where you build confidence. It's a space where you build you find you. It's a therapy. For a lot of people, it's therapy. For a lot of people, is simply just a space where they can be themselves. Yeah. They can go in there, put them headphones on, and just be. And if you go in there and do the wrong things, you're going to end up looking in that space. Like that trauma of going in there and doing that will make you don't want to go back. Right. And health is a lifestyle. Health is not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. Right. Health is something that you do forever. Right. You practice good health, mind, body, and soul forever. Especially if you want to live as long as you want. You want to live healthy. You want to live clean. You want to get all those things involved actually going to the gym to get your mind right. And then also eating right, meditating, going to therapy once needed, praying consistently. Like all those things are balanced. Like you need to have a balanced life. And so for me, the gym represents part of that balance. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm telling you. And I think all those things, and for you specifically, why I still work with you is you just, like, you guys need to know Sam is just a nice guy. Through the conversation, you guys will hear Sam talk. And that's one of the reasons I think he's perfect for this conversation that we're going to have today is because he has a heart. And a lot of people are just completely selfish. Sam is not selfish at all. I'm always late for my appointments. He always stays late when he can. I think even sometimes when he can't.
I mean, you make it happen, man.
I really appreciate Sam. And if anybody, and that's why he has so many clients of age and so many clients that stick with him for so long, because he's just, in addition to the breadth of knowledge and just how good you are, I mean, it's just a good time hanging with him. Just makes you feel better about yourself, even if you walk in there.
I appreciate it, man. It
Fat,
means a lot,
sloppy,
seriously,
busted
man.
and disgusted. Sam will
Make
you feel better.
Yeah, give you flowers, man. I think people forget sometimes to give people their flowers
Yeah.
when they're around you and when you appreciate them. I always say, like, give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Like I always, even when I walk in, people ask me how you feel. I'm feeling blessed and favored, highly favored. Like I want to be in that space. I want you to feel like this is home.
Yeah.
I want to feel like you're dealing with somebody that cares about you, because I do care about you. I do care about you outside of this place.
Oh, thanks,
Like
Sam.
I want to see that space. So giving out flowers, man. You're a good person. Like knowing people around you, like you gravitate around people that feed your curiosity, that feed your humanity in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I like when you're that person, when you put that out there, that kind of people come back to you. All my clients are amazing. Like my God, like I've met so many people through doing what I do. I'm like,
really,
I
really
can't,
nice.
like I would never be able to meet these people doing anything else.
Yeah.
Sitting behind the desk, I want to met majority of these people, my experiences in life, like my growth is because of my client.
Yeah.
They've healed me more than I've healed them.
I'm telling you, man, people at the office don't really know the real me.
Yeah.
They think,
What
I'm saying, when you meet people at the gym, it's a different attitude. So it's great to meet people in that space. But yo, I want to get to it, man, because the conversation we had yesterday was so powerful. And I don't know if you guys can tell Sam's very eloquent accent. I don't know what to call it. It's very subtle. I can hear it.
It's a unique accent.
Yeah.
People always confuse it. Like, what are you, Jamaican? What are you, Nigerian? What are you? I was like, it's in the West Africa, so it's.
Go tell us where you from. Tell it like real quick.
Sierra Leone, West Africa. I've been in the DMV almost all my life, but that is home. And my accent is because all my friends and family are close by to me. We still speak Creole as much as possible. I speak 4 languages, and it's still 4 languages and counting.
Really?
Yeah. So English, Creole, Timini, and Mende are like 2 tribal languages where I speak when I get back home and understand it. And then when I was younger, French was one of them.
Wow.
That is gone, but I'm gonna try to learn
it.
I'm trying to get it back.
Up,
I can pick it back up again. So that's me getting back into that space.
How long were you there in Sierra Leone before you?
I was there till I was about, I think 11, 12.
Wow.
So I spent the majority of my little years is back there.
Yeah.
Climbing, going to school, going to Catholic school.
Wait, you said climbing going to school.
Climbing trees. Like back home is different. Like when you grow up, it's like growing up in the country for most people. Like that's that same experience. You leave out in the morning and don't come back into the nighttime. Yeah. And it's all day you out here like climbing, fending for yourself almost. Just out here living.
Wow, man.
Which like there's kids in the city, I wish I could just, guys that grew up in the country understands it.
Yeah.
They have that kind of like, I can just go in the field all day. Like the village where I grew up in the village, was like a farm. Yeah. So we can go out there all day, spend time with them. We're farming our own food. I can go climb a mango tree. We're going to do all those different things. And that's it all day. Yeah. Playing with our friends, playing hide and go seek, like all those little games we played. That's it. That was us.
So your family was a farming family?
Yeah, they were out there. So there wasn't really, we just had a big farm.
Yeah.
Like a lot of land. So, and we all lived in the same house. So it was like maybe 3 generations living in the same house.
Yeah.
My grandma, which is their house, her kids, like my 2 aunties, all our nieces and nephews, my cousins, we all lived in the same house. And
that's nice.
We farmed. That was life.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so welcoming to people, because I grew up in a space where that was welcoming. My grandmother, she was big in the church. She went to church every day.
Yeah.
Every single day she went to church. That was like my heart. So my mom.
Christian?
Yep.
Okay.
She went to church every day. And she would take kids that don't have nowhere to stay and she would bring them home. And that was it. She would just bring them home. They would be at the house. Yeah. So they get old enough to like move out. So she just randomly bringing kids home.
Yeah.
So even like people that raised me, lady that raised me was like somewhat like an orphan that she brought home. That's what like primarily raised me when she started getting sicker and she couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's the kind of feel I have. I grew up with.
Bro, that sounds like paradise for a kid.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of people in the
So
house.
how did you feel? Like, first of all, what was your thoughts of America when you were 11, when you were like 10, 11 years old? What was your thoughts on America? And what did you think when you first found out, we moving to America? And then later, what was your adjustment?
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, a lot of Africans.
No, you, but
for
you could say,
for me, it's like the land
as a kid.
Of milk and honey.
Yeah.
Like that is literally what it is. Like this is the most amazing place.
Yeah.
Because you see movies.
Yeah.
And you see how, like, you see the flying cars. Like, we couldn't distinguish what was reality or fantasy.
Right.
So for us,
it was just America.
It's America. All of it was America. So whatever movie you saw, that was America.
That's funny.
It's the fantasy of it. Like, because in the village, you don't have as much access to a lot of things. So if you get to see a movie, so we had to see, like, we had TV in the house because my auntie went to England to go study for nursing. And she came back. She had a little bit, like, we had a little bit of money. So we had, like, some amenities that most people didn't have.
Yeah.
So we had a TV in the house. So some of the things we see, like, so you got used to seeing, like, those things. You're like, that's what America is. So my idea of America was the fantasy I saw on TV.
So what was the movie or show that would stand out?
I can't really pinpoint the movies and shit, but I know it's like a bunch of movies, like, any Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, any Arnold.
I was about to say a Westerner, because I met one of the guys in Ghana. He said he thought all Americans, like, wore cowboy hats and talked with a southern accent.
Any VHS that we can get, they played, like, that was it. So whatever idea was, but, like, most, like, Africans are the best storyteller you ever meet.
Yeah.
They will watch a movie. So we most of us don't have access to that TV.
Yeah.
So one person will watch the movie and they'll come explain the movie to us. That's what it is.
That's funny.
And when they explain it to you, they do all the action scenes. So for the longest, I thought Sylvester Stallone was Rambo. His name was Rambo.
Yeah.
And then Arnold, his name was what's that man? What movie he was in? That's what we called them. Like we called them based on their movies.
That's
what it is. Jean-Claude Van Damme was just Bloodsport, whatever. That's what it is. Like whatever movie they played in.
Yeah.
That's their name. That's they carry that name forever. And someone would be like, and then he was like, Jean-Claude was like, Vum. And he was like, he would explain the movie.
So you were verbatim. So it's fair to say you were excited to go living in the movie.
Oh yeah,
you were
man.
Living in a movie in America.
You wanted to be here, like everybody. Even now, like their kids, they will give like their right arm, left toe, left. Yeah. They'll give their first kid to come here, and most people do in Africa. We give up kids and leave kids and family back home just to come here for the opportunity. So, it's a lot. Like it's a lot of sacrifices to come to this country. Yeah, that's why I think when you see we see people come in this country, the amount of fight and drive that we have is because we sacrifice so much to get here. We give up or leave so much of our own identity, our family sometimes, our kids, just to come to a place where the opportunities are very, like, I can thrive. Yeah. So that's why I think a lot of time, without understanding, we have a funny view. It's like, I'm about to come up here and just walk. And a lot of them do. They walk, and then have no, like, downtime. Yeah. Because all they want to do is, like, I want to send money back home.
So tell me then. So I wanted to ask you this question that's to tie those two stories together. When you were a kid, America was a movie, right? And then later on, you're talking about Africans here that work. Well, many immigrants work. So when you got over here at 11 years old, and you can spin the story of some of your family, like what happens in the middle? Like you land here, in your mind, it's going to be a movie, but before it's all said and done, you're working like a Hebrew slave. So what's that disillusionment like? Like, and what was it like for you? What is it like generally for like the African community when they realize, like, wait, this is not the movie I thought it was?
Reality check hits you really quick, because as soon as you get here, you understand that even your own family told you, you here now, we got to work. We got to make this money, we got to provide, and you still have people over there back home that look at you. As soon as you land, people automatically think you're making money. Yeah, they think money comes from trees. So they're already calling, begging you for money. Yeah. They're already expecting you to provide for them. Family back home, it's like, imagine a movie, a little boy from the hood to make it. Everybody automatically, like, he signed a contract to go play football. Yeah. I said, he might be the backup for whatever it is. They ain't making no money. But just because he signed that contract, everybody got their hands out. Yeah. They got to eat. That's what it is for us.
So how was that for you?
For
when
me,
you
I think
realize that at
it was different. 'Cause, I mean,
13,
me
11,
coming
12,
here,
whatever time you realize, like,
me
wait,
coming up here was different. I think I went to high school. I went to elementary school in D.C.
yeah,
And that reality was different. One, I didn't speak the language. And kids in the middle school, elementary school, would be mean. They're very mean. All the name calling, I think that's where we get that from, because they don't understand.
yeah,
African booty scratcher.
Yeah.
You get this. You have all that. So you are coming into a hostile space. And then it's been proven right because the people that you meet are also coming in, not knowing you. And they are like...
So which school? Where
I went to Keene Elementary and by Fort Tartan.
Tell me about. I don't know nothing about that school. Like
Oh
the
my God,
demographics.
it's right by me, by Fort Tartan. They still there too.
So is it heavy Hispanic, heavy Latino, or what?
Oh no, it's heavy. The funny thing is, it was just black.
All black.
It was black and some drops of like Hispanic, but 80-90% black.
So look, the reason why I'm asking you these detailed questions is I think it sheds light on the later conversation. Like you got here, like I'm going to live in a movie. You go to school, you can't speak the language, and then you get punched in the face with reality.
You get hit. It changes your entire view, like fantasy and realities. Sometimes when you take the virtual reality glasses off and you stepped out, the first couple days or like month before you start going and hitting physical, because you don't face reality later on.
Yeah.
You come here, you want to go take it to a buffet, you want to go eat. Like there's plenty of food.
Right.
Like you get to that stage like everything is plenty in this country. Everything is plenty. And as a kid, that's all you want. Like, I get to eat whenever I want. There's AC, there's light.
Yeah.
It's like, you get hit. The things you take for granted.
Yeah.
Granted, like, we had a fairly good life back home, but no lights, the running toilet, like the toilet wasn't there, running water. Like, there's not that amenity. Like, if I want to take a shower, you got to go.
You never know how that feels. Like, until I was in Ghana. I was on my laptop and everything just went black.
Hey, that's it. We just move on. Like, okay.
And I went outside and said, "Is something going on? Can we hook this up? Let's switch the circuit breaker. Let's hit the power." They was like, "No, it's lights out, bro.
Lights out, man. Just if you got a generator, you may be able to get a
I was
little
like,
bit
how long
of
do you think it'll last? I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, a day. We don't know. I was like,
You can't plan for it. Whenever it comes, it comes.
We just sat there quietly and talked. And then we all got really hot and was sweating because the AC wasn't working at this point. I mean, I was lucky to even have AC with the power on. So yeah, I like a lot of things we take for granted, bro.
Exactly. So from here, it's like the adjustment period is still kind of the high.
Yeah.
You don't get hit to the reality. I think as a kid, my first dose of reality was going to school.
Yeah.
And seeing the kind of hate that came from kids being kids almost without knowing that. Yeah. I'm like, why do you hate me for this being me?
So you felt as a kid that they hated you for being out of being here. Not from there, not being able to speak the language.
And you just automatically just have that like that. You go in and being able to be comfortable, and it is kind of wrong stage. I wish like young kids now. I think young kids now understand Africa. Yeah. They're proud to be Africans, and the Black Americans want to know about Africa. There's a knowledge base, the internet. But back then, there was none of that. The only thing they know about, the same way I learned about them by watching movies, they learn about us by watching movies. Yeah. And most of the movies they say about Africans are either like savages, or living with this, or
either
they
that
don't take
or
showers.
Non-profit infomercials where everybody's sick.
They're poor, can't take care of themselves. They're living like this place, don't get this. So the same kind of like, we don't misinformation that's what's being passed back and forth. So we at each other's throat. I don't know why. Yeah. Why are we fighting each other?
So yeah, I want to talk about
that's right what it there. Is. That comes from it.
The thing is, like, we ask people, like, why don't Africans like African Americans? Why don't Africans like Black people? But I think something you said is a thing that we don't realize. The Africans, the immigrants that come here, whether they're from Africa, Haiti, the Black immigrants, and other immigrants from all over the world, the story's the same. Similar. When they get here, they realize, I have to work. Yep. Many of them don't have a few generations of family here. Let me just like Black people don't. But there's a reality check, like we have to work. And that's why people like, even some of my family members who are immigrants, through marriage, they came over, they got their master's degree, doctor's degree. They just work really hard until they make it. But I think from the perspective, like you said, there's a couple things that happens. First of all, you realize you think like we don't like Black people don't like us. They teasing me. I'm an African kid in the school and they teasing me. Number two, I think when you come over as an adult and you look around in the hood, like these Black people aren't working like we work. So I think over time, and this is my theory, and I want you to tell me, I think over time, immigrants look at black people like, you've been here for 200, 300, 400 years. What have you been doing for 400 years, bro? I've been here for 10, and I've got my master's degree. I've been here for 5 years. I've been here for 20 years, and I got this, I got that, I've done this. My mom is the director of this, and I've done that. Because Africans come over here into the land of promise, and they take advantage of all these things. But we here in America, black people in America, for some reason, I'm not blaming us, but the reality is we don't take advantage of the same things that Africans do. And I think the reason is, even though we're not talking about this, I think the reason is that psychologically, being descendants of slaves, psychologically being oppressed, the messages that our parents teach us is more about be careful. White folks don't want you to be in these spaces. Be careful about this. One of my cousins said, I don't want to go to medical school. All them white people and all that reading, right? And that's kind of the attitude. But an African or immigrant comes over here is like, white people, it's their movie. Like, I'm going to the same school the white people go to. I'm going here. I'm going to be right there with them. But I think Africans and immigrants are cool to go in there. They're going straight forward. I'm going to Yale. Like, why not? African Americans are like, I think I'd rather be with my people because I'm nervous.
I've seen that story before. That's
you know?
what
And I think that's the dynamic. That's why immigrants look at us like, what the hell are y'all doing? And black people look at immigrants like, y'all think y'all better than us.
It's a funny story because I think you hit on like a lot of things I was gonna hit on too. Like for us coming in, the people that we fear or oppress, that PTSD are black people. Like we see people in government are black people. Like we see that, and then we see. Imagine coming from a place where, like you said, you don't have running water or toilet or anything else.
Yeah.
When you come up here, the amount of hunger you come with is so different.
Yeah.
It is so it's survival.
Yeah.
The people, the Africans, the first generation Africans here, they just trying to survive. They're on survival mode consistently, just to make sure like I don't want to end up back and I need to send money back home.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to fail. So that you have we come with a lot of pressure. For us to succeed is like pressure until pressure until we bust.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of time we end up so deep in depression because of all that pressure that we put on ourselves and other people put on us.
Yeah.
That's I can tell for first generation, that's what we put on because we want to do this. You got to be proud. You got to make the people proud. It's all of that. And I think with African American going to this country, the PTSD they've been through is so hard. One of my clients told me this one time. She said, "You know why we don't go out for like maid or all those jobs?" She said, it's because my great grandparents did that shit for free for so many years.
Yeah.
I'd be damned if I go wipe somebody's ass. I'd be damned if I go clean somebody's house.
Yeah.
Because they did that shit for free for years. I would not do that.
Yeah. Wow.
And that kind of thing, like we come up here, it's like I don't care. Like I'm gonna go clean floors because that's what the job available. I'm gonna go clean that. And it's because we have not experienced that kind of trauma in our past.
Yeah.
We don't even understand it. And we do sacrifice. And I think in that space that's the thing. The stuff we come from over there, and most of them come with like degrees. And when you come up here, your degree does not translate over here. I still got to go work. I still got to, because you still got pressures there.
Even if you're a doctor, I know folks.
Yeah, you got to go back and go clean, go do a taxi. I mean, so many taxi drivers was PhDs from Africa. Lecturers, like they're taxi drivers.
Yeah.
Because that's the job they're able to get in this country. So it's not because we die in the mustard, they still there. We come here and then we see the struggle. We see the struggle that we have back home, and we see how many people are suffering. And I'm like, you know what? I need to make this. And African Americans in this country, because of a lot of the stuff that's happened in the past, there's a lot of, like you said, like it's a fear-based thing they have. Not fear of the glass ceiling. Yeah. It's fear of the unknown white man. It is gonna come down and shoot you for winking at a young thing. As much as we may
not want to admit that, I think that is. I've had a guy tell me, you're only gonna go as high as the white man lets you.
Yep. And I think for us, we don't.
I was like, wow,
I don't see the white man as a threat. Yeah. I only see the nigga as a threat. I'm like, you know what? Fuck. I don't really see the threat that comes from
Yeah.
him because I have not experienced him in that sense.
Right.
We were colonized, but for the most part, they were outsiders inheriting a
And
space
even
with
as
smaller.
a colonizer, I talk to people when I'm in Ghana. They say life was better
Yeah.
under colonization.
Most people want to be colonized because that's the thing of Africans. We're in our space because now we governing ourselves. And the thing about, I think, a lot of people, we want everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're not willing to sacrifice for the next generation.
Yeah.
Are you willing to put your life in harm's way or even sacrifice yourself so the next 3 generations can be better?
Mm-hmm.
Would you die to make sure, like the same way what Christ did, would
Yeah.
you sacrifice yourself if
Right.
if you know me doing this would benefit 3, 4, 5, 6 generations ahead?
Right.
And I think that's the stuff a lot of us right now are not willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're so self-absorbed that we're not willing to make that sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching on Your Leisure, one of a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the NFLPA, the head of the NFL, what's the name, the union,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
he said something that's profound. He said, we can own the NFL if we strike. If we go on strike for a year, every football player, even practice squad or whatever it is, strike for a year and a half.
Yeah.
They have loans on those stadiums. They got bills. They got stuff they got to pay. We will own them.
Yeah.
But these guys are not willing to do it because they've not made spaces or save enough money to take care of their family. And the only thing they're going to come into is like, I'm going to sacrifice for the next nigga so he can eat. So that next nigga can eat? No, man.
Right.
No, I got to eat right now.
Yeah.
So I got to eat right now. It's stopping us from feeling that. And that's what's happening in Africa right now. So they've been governing us for so long. When they left, everybody want the same thing right now. Mm-hmm. Not knowing that my country just turned 60 this year.
Yeah.
We're a very young country.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a few generations before we figure out. It took America hundreds of years to get this right.
Right.
Whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, we don't have patience.
Yep.
And we're not willing to put that sacrifice in. So for the next one they do, they want to eat right now. Mm-hmm. So yes, it was better back then because we didn't have to do it.
Right.
And they've had years of governing, and they brought that same government over there. Yeah. Their governation was just more separation than anything else.
The reality is people don't realize it's not really even the years of governing. They brought slaves over first in 1400s. And people minimize this, and it's not because I'm black. But if you think of the billions and billions of dollars of human capital resource that was spent over the 1400s, the 1500s, the 1600s, 1700s, all that time of just building, 1497 when he first came over, they started trading. And I guess it was 16-something when the slavery first started here in the country. But just imagine all that capital, all that trial and error, all that, and, countries like Ghana, like Sierra Leone is 60 years old, 50 years old. And also you started with debt.
Yep.
We didn't start with human capital. We didn't start with enslaving people and robbing human capital.
Nope.
Started with debt. So it's almost impossible to build the same way. It's hard. It's not only hard, it's really impossible.
Yep.
It has to be done differently. Like we can't, any organization, any group that we're building, any country that you're building now, we can't look and say, we're going to follow America's plan because the foundational pillars of America's government is free labor. And
that's why the democratic system in Africa does not work for us.
Yeah.
So I dare I say it, sometimes a dictatorship works because it allows a single-minded, if it's a good person that really wants to work about, to really clear the path and find a way for this to do it together. China's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what we need, but I think we are trying to mimic a system in this country that works for them, but doesn't work for us. It will not work for Africa. I feel like a dictatorship, as bad as it is in many spaces sometimes, there's some good and bad in every system of government. But for Africa, a dictatorship works. Now, I know we're going to another subject, but I'm going to go back to what you asked, bringing it back to that same situation about black Americans and
let's
Africans.
Stay on task. We definitely,
I would go, I would go along with it, but I'm going to bring it back in.
Yeah.
The two things that I think that separates us is, and I think I'm because I grew up in this country and I learned in this country, I understand the civil rights movements, I understand that. I have a different view about the black experience in this country.
Different from
I think people coming in.
The average immigrant.
The average immigrants coming in just to work.
Yeah.
They don't care about the history of this country. That's immigrants from India, China, wherever it is. They do not care about the history
They just here to
of this
eat
country.
today.
Yep.
They don't care, right?
They're here to take.
Yeah.
And without understanding that, if the civil rights movement did not happen, if blacks didn't put their life, the same way I say people sacrifice, if those people didn't sacrifice their life, put themselves to make sure there was almost equal rights for all men, and we're still fighting for that. If they didn't put those things in place for men, women, and all minorities, all immigrants, none of you guys will come up here and succeed.
Right.
There will not be a America. There will never be the most educated people, immigrants in this country are this, and this.
Right.
Not. It would have been the most educated immigrants are from Ireland.
Right.
The most educated immigrants are from Sweden. The most educated, there will never be that. Black and brown will never have a place in this country. Even Hispanic will not have space in this country. So when you look down on the people that pave ways, they paved the way for you to come up here and do that, you are literally at that moment shitting on the pivotal reason, the one reason why you are able to make this living.
I'm curious, how do you, from your perspective, how can you justify like saying, because of the civil rights movement? Like if the civil rights movement hadn't happened, or whatever struggles hadn't happened,
I'd be in Africa poor. I'd be African. No, not being raw.
Yeah.
Everybody would be in their own country.
Yeah.
Struggling. Because you will not have the opportunity to come in this country. Because you'll be slaves.
It opened the door. Civil rights movement canceled out that first form of government.
Yeah.
And canceled that out and opened the door up
not even
for
that first form of government, the first form of economy. The economy in our country changed.
Yeah, exactly.
From the free human capital to the land of opportunity.
Right.
Because it was never the land of opportunity for blacks and brown or immigrants.
And people don't realize, if you look at 1865 to 1900, that's 35 years. And it's only been 125 years since then, 123. So it's about 150 years since that time. It's not a long time.
It's not.
It's not a long time.
So
at
give
all.
them grace and understand that they're dealing with some PTSD. It's gonna maybe take a couple generations to change.